What's your assessment of Hendon Hooker? 248-539-9797. He got the start. He got the scripted plays. He got to play with the second team instead of the third team, and he didn't finish the half. See, I think that's the red flag. Coaching staff said, hey, we've seen enough. And as soon as he leaves the game, Kyle Allen comes in.
Five plays, 80 yards, boom, 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 in the end zone.
Hendon Hooker, famously, they didn't trust last year at the end of the season, brought in Teddy Bridgewater.
See,
and what? Is that not fair?
No, that's fair. Yeah, it's what happened. My
point is, has he done more to earn trust since that moment?
No.
And the answer is no. And look, on third down, he had the one scramble, but he also had the fumble, one of two.
Yeah.
And he threw short of the sticks and incomplete of the sticks on these key third downs. He didn't move the ball. He's not looking the part. And it's not just the two preseason games. It's also what we've seen in practice. And in talking to the guys who have watched every practice, what they're seeing in practice, he's not picking it up. And I'm not even mad at the pick. Goff hadn't been extended yet. You were rolling the dice. It's a third rounder with a quick release and some mobility. See if you can coach him up. And if they still want to develop him, do it on the practice squad. I can't imagine the league's going to be clamoring to add 27-year-old, late blooming Hendon Hooker.
No, I don't think so either. And so it just still offers you the opportunity to develop him, and you could see how he does next year.
Right, and we've thrown out names today of like, okay, well, how are you going to do any better? Look, they're trying to win a Super Bowl. They don't have a guy right now they trust to plug in a pinch.
Right.
And again, that's all it is. Anything more than a pinch is not going to get it done. But in a pinch, I'd rather have Carson Wentz. I'd rather have Jameis Winston. I'd rather have
Kenny Pickett. Taylor Heineke.
Sure.
Would you have, I don't know, I answered it as I'd rather have Kyle Trask. What did you say to Kyle Trask?
I think they're in the same kind of category. I know Trask, did he play well in the preseason yesterday or this weekend?
Yeah, he did decent. He had like a 98 rating. I don't know. Look, I thought the guy was going to be a pretty good pro. I thought he was a nice sleeper. He went toe-to-toe with Joe Burrow in college that year, and he just doesn't have it. He would have gotten the opportunity by now.
Yeah, I think a tie goes to the current guy. If it's not a unanimous, like this guy is a more stable, proven dude, I'll keep the guy who's at least in the offense. But I don't trust him to be the number two, and I don't know that any Lions fan does. Well, I shouldn't say that. We had a couple guys call in and defend Hendon Hooker.
Well, we got another one that wants to defend him as well.
Rob in Detroit, good morning.
Good morning. Can y'all hear me?
We got you loud and clear.
You. Yep.
Oh, okay, bet. So this is what my problem I have is that you guys drafted this man injured with great potential. And I feel that after he got his body together, like last year, having the opportunity to go out here and try to earn a spot, never got an opportunity. Now, you got games that they done played last year where they done scored 50 points. And not one time that they try to put this man in there to get him some experience. Everybody that y'all done brought up as a third pick, third string quarterback, all of them had experience. All of them had opportunities. This man has not had a true opportunity to have the opportunity to get in there and show what he can do fully. I don't think that he did. I think that Dan Campbell is not when it comes to like the manager for the Tigers, everybody counts. The Pistons, everybody counts. He only put people in when it's time to put people in next man up, but without the reps. So like, what's his name? Number 29, the cornerback, getting burnt every time he get in there. Is he in there in practice during the regular season and practice like the rest of the quarterbacks, and he getting burnt because he didn't get the time in there to do what he needs to do. So we ridicule people who don't even have the opportunity to get in there and do what they can.
Well, Rob, he had a chance to get in there on Friday. He had a chance to get in there with preseason last year. He's had some chances. He hasn't done enough. I mean, why is that not just the honest assessment? He hasn't done enough.
Yeah, but you got to realize you got everybody like you guys is on here, and every chance you get, you talk about this, bring in other people. He's a human being. So how you know he's not listening to some of this stuff? How y'all know that this don't mess with his psyche when you got people on these radio stations downgrade him in Detroit?
Rob, well, our job is not to be his therapist.
No. And I would hope that he would have thick enough skin, first of all, probably not to listen to sports talk radio in the city, especially after the two performances that he's put out there. I don't think he's turning the radio on and maybe not even reading the papers, but if you can't handle that, how are you going to handle it when people boo you in another stadium and say, oh, they're just so mean?
Jim, I would not pay you $150 to listen to you talk for an hour.
Okay, thank you for that, Greg. You don't think I'd be a good therapist?
What's
Specifically
going on
to struggling
here?
Quarterbacks?
What's the deal defending? Like,
this has been a chorus since we started the hour.
I'll say this. Bob's one decent point was I do think there were opportunities in blowouts last year to get him in a little earlier.
Okay.
But, that's the Stoney in me also being afraid of injuries. And,
right.
But look, those Jacksonville and Tennessee games, that could have happened so quick.
Yeah. I remember we talked about it. Does golf need to be in the game? But
we would have saw what we saw the other night.
I was going to say that's the key is this idea. Well, if you just give him the first string offense and all the weapons and the offensive line, it's going to transform him into what? Randall Cunningham?
See, this is when you blindly just say, let Brad cook, and you can never criticize one thing that he does. This is what you end up with.
But I'm
it's
not
like
even,
these people
I'm
are
not,
like brainwashed almost.
Into thinking like, well, the player still has to be good. It's just the circumstances.
Brad drafted him.
But here's the thing. Brad drafted Broderick Martin. And I'm not killing Brad Holmes for it. Like, he's going to miss every draft.
Yeah.
He's going to whiff every single draft he's here on somebody. That's just the odds, man. Like, they're not all going to be Brian Branch. They're all going to be St. Brown and Kirby Joseph.
Yeah.
They took a third-round quarterback coming off an injury, rolling the dice because their franchise quarterback had not been extended yet. Who knows? If it works out, it's great. It was an insurance policy. Now you realize you read the fine print, the coverage is no good. You don't want this insurance policy, so get a new one.
Because there are other options.
Yes, shop
If
around.
there weren't other options, then you would just sit here and go, well, we've got to look at the glass as half full, and maybe he'll get better. The problem is what I saw on Friday night was no better than what we saw last year. Now, the only way you could say he wasn't given a chance is if he was always going in there in the fourth quarter with guys that are not going to be on this team. He's throwing it to Isaac Tisla. He's going to be on this team. He's got Craig Reynolds in the backfield. He's going to be on this team.
Yep.
He had offensive linemen playing in front of him
Tate
that
Ratledge
will be on this team.
Yep.
He was given every opportunity to go out there and be better than he was in the Hall of Fame game, and he didn't do it.
Ticket Texter says show up and show out, or you don't get to be on the 53-man roster. It's just
pretty
that simple.
Yeah.
Rob sounded like Hendon Hooker's dad. LOL. Texter says you pay a hooker to leave.
Jeez.
Okay, so there is a healthy balance, but some of the calls and texts have been sticking up for Hendon Hooker, and I don't get it.
Yeah, I mean,
I get wanting it to work. It just isn't.
Yeah, I mean, and it's we're not taking a shot at him as an individual.
No.
Seems like a great guy. We're taking a shot at him as a bona fide NFL quarterback.
Tex says the Browns have 5 QBs. I'd take any of them over Hendon Hooker. Do you think there's going to be people today going, we should have drafted Shedeur Sanders?
Oh, I'm sure that somebody will, but no, I wouldn't take everybody off of that roster, right? I don't think I would take
Dylan Gabriel.
No. Tyler Huntley, he was the backup in Baltimore for a lot of years. I probably would take him over Hendon Hooker, just due on experience.
Would you take Shedeur over Hendon Hooker?
Sure. I think there's a better upside for
Yeah.
Shedeur than there is for Hendon Hooker at this point. He's younger.
And that's why I think someone would justifiably say we should have just drafted Shedeur.
And he looked better in his now it's only one game. He looked better in his debut in the preseason than Hendon Hooker has at any point in his opportunities to play in the preseason.
Now, I could see someone saying, I didn't want Shedeur because I didn't want him to come here and have Dion be campaigning every week.
But
as
I
a
don't think Dion's
distraction.
going to do that.
I mean, I get that, and let's not overreact to one. He looked pretty good.
Right, it was one game.
He also had some missed
But he looked
throws,
better
too.
than Hooker ever looked.
I know.
That's what I just said. Yes. Would I take Shedeur over Hendon Hooker? Yes.
Yeah, if it was a trade 1-for-1 right now, I'd take the guy who's just getting started as opposed to a guy who's had multiple cracks at it and hasn't broken through. And by the way, Shadeur's younger.
Yeah. By what, 4 years?
And isn't starting his career off an injury. I mean, it's not Hendon Hooker's fault, but he was injured. It did play a role here. 248-539-9797. Some phone calls to get to. John's assessment in the trenches of both Tyleik Williams and Tate Ratledge. We'll do that next, 97.1.